Trojan Sports Now.
Hello and welcome to Trojan Sports Now. I'm Danielle Percival.
And I'm Jonathan Sellers. Stick around as we bring you the latest news and scores from Troy Sports. Well, the soccer team looked to end their regular season with a win on Friday. The Trojans had secured a spot in the Sun Belt tournament, so the finale against South Alabama was more for momentum than anything else. Dustin Carroll has the details of the match.
Friday afternoon, the Troy soccer team wrapped up the regular season and honored outgoing senior goalkeeper Ashley Branham and forward Mary Morris as the Trojans took on Sun Belt opponent South Alabama. The Jaguars struck early when Sean Meade scored 2 minutes into the game. Troy would answer when Maddie Teakin scored at the 35th minute to tie the game at 1. In the second half, South Alabama would score at the 60-minute mark when Landy Wilson recorded the go-ahead goal to give South Alabama the 2-1 lead. The Trojans had many chances to tie the match with under a minute, but the USA goalkeeper made the save as time expired. Coach Chris Bentley says the team had their chances in the 2-1 defeat.
No, I think today we went out and competed pretty hard. We created some great opportunities for ourselves. Look, there was a couple attacking sequences that I felt like were some of our best this season. We just didn't finish. Finishing on those opportunities, I think, keep us in the game. But to be fair, I think both teams had opportunities on either side of the field, and they were able to finish a couple more than we were. So,
although Troy lost the match, Bentley says the team showed great effort against a superior opponent.
Well, I felt like today the effort was pretty good. They went out and competed. We let ourselves down in a couple moments here and there, but we're also playing against a team that's a little higher seed than us in the tournament today. So probably could have finished a couple chances and made a difference, but overall I think the effort was much better, and we can take that and carry it into the tournament.
Despite the end of the regular season, the Trojans aren't done just yet. Next week they'll participate in the Sun Belt Conference Tournament in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, which starts November the 2nd and lasts through the 5th. Reporting from the Troy Soccer Complex, Dustin Carroll, Trojan Sports Now.
Well, the season did end on Wednesday as Troy fell in the first round of the tournament. Troy lost to the top seed North Texas 2-0. The Mean Green scored 1 goal in each half to end the Trojan season with a record of 9-11-1. The game also marked the ends of 2 seniors' careers as Ashley Branham and Mary Morris competed for the final time.
The Trojan volleyball team began their final road trip of the season this past weekend as they traveled to the Sunshine State. Friday night it was welcome to Miami and welcome to a conference matchup pitting 2 teams who were right next to each other in the standings. The Golden Panthers were 1 spot ahead of the Trojans, and in a match that seemed as close as the standings, a Trojan rally came up short as FIU took the match 3-1. After falling behind 0-2, the Trojans took the 3rd set but fell in the 4th to end the match. On Saturday, the team continued their Sunshine State road trip, this time with the destination of Boca Raton. The Trojans took on Florida Atlantic and for the 2nd straight day fell into an 0-2 hole. But history did not repeat itself as the Trojans swept the next 3 sets and finished off their road season with a victory 3-2 over the Owls. The win puts the Trojans at 4-2 in 5-set matches this season compared to 1-4 last season. And Tuesday night, the Trojans were back at Sartain Hall in their 5th Tuesday night matchup of the year. Coming into the match, the team was 4-0 on Tuesday nights. Dustin Carroll fills us in on whether their record remained perfect.
Tuesday night, the Troy volleyball team began a 5-game home stretch against South Alabama to end the regular season. If the Trojans were hoping for a sweep, unfortunately, that is out of the question now as the Trojans fell in 4 sets to the Jaguars. Troy was able to take the 3rd set in this match. On a good note, senior middle hitter Brittany McClellan became the school's all-time leader in blocked assists. The loss dropped the Trojans to 15-11 on the year and 5-7 in the Sun Belt. Coach Sonny Kirkpatrick talks about coming up short in this intense rivalry.
It's such a huge rivalry, and to come up short really, really hurts. I don't think our team played with the passion that they needed to early, which got us in a little bit of a hole. And we played like this last couple of matches, and I'm at a loss as to why we're doing this. We had a chance to really solidify our position in the conference tournament tonight, and we didn't grab that opportunity. We let South Alabama have all the momentum. We left them have all of the intensity.
With the game so close throughout, Kirkpatrick says there was one main difference between the 2 teams.
Their outside hitters killed us. Our outside hitters didn't fight back. And for us to win, our outside hitters have to play decently, and they didn't.
One of the key contributors on the night was junior middle hitter Devin Von Pingle. Von Pingle led the team with 14 kills on the night, and the junior says the team just never had the energy from the start.
There's definitely no energy out there whatsoever. We weren't pumped up. You can tell in our faces before we even started the game, and it just needs more energy for us to play against Middle Tennessee this Friday.
Dustin Carroll, Trojan Sports Now.
The volleyball team now sits at 15-11 overall and 5-7 in conference play.
Normally in this section, we'd be giving you a look back at Troy's game from the past weekend. But with the Trojans having a little time off after a Tuesday game last week, Taylor Burke gives us a look at how the Trojans used their extra rest.
The last time the football team was in action was 2 weeks ago on a Tuesday night game on ESPN. Because the Trojans played in a weekday game, they had the following Saturday off. And after an 11-day break from the football field, quarterback Corey Robinson hopes the team will be well rested and ready to go to finish out their season.
We got some guys beat up, but I mean, these 10 and 11 days, 12 days or whatever, I think that we can get some guys back healthy that can really help us out next Saturday at Navy.
We ought to be rested. If we handle it right, we should be rested, and hopefully approaching being well and everybody fit and ready to take on the challenge at hand of learning the game plan that it will take to have a chance to defeat Navy.
The 11 days off gives the Trojans more time to prepare for a style of offense that they have never played against before, Navy's triple option. The triple option forces the defense to worry about multiple running options on a single play. Troy is coming into this game ranked 113th in the nation in total defense, giving up an average of 460 yards a game, while the midshipmen are ranked 5th in the nation in rushing yards, averaging 309 yards a game using the triple option.
Guys have to be, fundamentally sound, read the keys, let the blocks determine what they do, and I think it's definitely going to be a challenge this week, going outside of spread and something we really don't get a chance to work at all with the wishbone. And the guys just going to have to be fundamentally sound this weekend.
The game against Navy will be the Trojans' final non-conference test of the regular season. And for Coach Blakeney, after 3 Sun Belt losses in a row, he is glad that his team has a chance to step away from Sun Belt play for a week and regroup.
It further defines what you've got to do, If you're out of league or you're off, and you see what is happening and what is taking place, and again further defines what your task at hand is.
Taylor Burke, Trojan Sports Now.
The Trojans have already had one bye week earlier this year. After playing Arkansas, the Trojans had a week off before coming home to take on Middle Tennessee for their first win of the season.
The Trojan cross-country teams ended their season at the Sun Belt Conference Championships this past weekend on the campus of Western Kentucky. While the team did not finish at the top overall, there were several members who posted personal records over the weekend. 2 of the 3 seniors on this year's team accomplished that, Adam Weiss and Alec Ham. Agnes Capsoyo was the lone senior on the women's side. Junior Morgan Paulson was the top performer on the women's side yet again with a time of 19 minutes and 47.5 seconds. Sophomore Kemper Morton was the first Trojan to cross the line for the men, setting a personal record with a time of 27 minutes and 31.4 seconds.
The rodeo team journeyed to Kentucky for the Murray State Rodeo, but didn't find much success in the Bluegrass State. The Trojan Spurs finished 4th on the women's side and 6th on the men's. The team roping tandem of Nelson Wyatt and Lane Taylor finished 3rd overall, while Wyatt also finished 5th in the men's all-around. Despite the 4th place finish for the women, they still lead the Ozark region standings. Well, we're going to try something a little different this week, and the idea actually comes from you guys, especially our Twitter followers.
We decided to let you give us a topic, and we'll discuss it. Our question this week comes from B. Lee 4. He tweets, if you had to make a Troy football dream team from, say, the past 10 years, who would be the key players? So let's get into it.
All right, we're going to have to kind of cut it down to the past 8 years for me, because that's when I actually started here.
Well, mine's even shorter than that, because I've only been here 2 years.
Okay, but we'll give you a little leeway. You know a little more than that. So we're going to start with the offense. At quarterback is where you got to start, and I'm going to have co-quarterbacks. You got to have Omar and Levi, Omar Hoggepick and Levi Brown, and they're both exceptional in this new spread offense, and they've both done a great job.
I would take Levi. I know some about Levi. I don't know as much about Omar.
Okay, running back, I have to have DeWitt Betterson. Back when we were still in the I formation, running the ball a whole lot, he got a lot of carries, a lot of 100-yard games. We've had some good ones with DeJuan Harris and now Sean Southward and a couple of these guys. but I'd still have to give credit to DeWitt Betterson. Then at receivers, you've got to have Jarrell Jernigan on there. And what else can you say about Jarrell Jernigan?
Yeah, exactly.
He was just outstanding. Tons of records that he set here at Troy. Also got to have Jason Samples on there. He was a little before your time, but he was a great receiver. Also threw a couple touchdown passes in some big games. Offensive linemen, I'll give out a few real quick. I know Deion Small, Chris Jameson, Tyler Clark from the past few years. I'll also name Junior Lewisant from his big Missouri run, and I think you've got an offensive. Yeah,
I got a family friend who I've got to throw in there. Obed Ellis, I'd have to put him on my dream team.
Okay, what about the defensive side of the ball?
Well, of course, you've got to put DeMarcus Ware. I mean, he is the spokesman for Troy when it comes to the NFL players, the guys who have moved on to more success, and of course, you also got to put in OCU Manura,
right?
A guy who's made a good career for himself also. The infamous Bear Woods, or we could go with Jonathan Sellers, because, I mean, you know, you were Bear Woods.
No costume this week.
Yeah, that's right, no costume, but you got to throw in Bear Woods, Boris Lee, the tandem that they had. That's right, the tandem they had. And then, of course, there are still other defensive players who are making careers in the NFL, Leotis McKelvin, Sherrod Martin, Albert Mack. And so you definitely got to throw in all those guys for your dream team.
Well, I've got a couple of more guys I know on the defensive side of the ball. Bernard Davis and Laverne Johnson, they were kind of a linebacker tandem before Bear and Boris. You also had Rayshawn Reed and Derek Ansley back in the secondary back in the earlier 2000s, who were really good players. And then special teams, Leotis McKelvin, you've got to have back returning your kicks. He had all kinds of records, even better than Jarrell Jernigan. We know Jernigan can do it well. Also, Greg Wibbs kicking, and I've got to go Thomas Olmstead punting. But I think we're out of time. That was fun. We're going to try that again next week. So if you want to keep on sending us some Twitter,
that's right.
Just use the hashtag TrojanSportsNow, and we'll try to get into your questions.
And still to come on Trojan Sports Now, a look ahead as the Trojan football team embarks for Annapolis. And volleyball stays in town.
But first, I had the chance to sit down with women's basketball coach Mike Murphy to discuss the upcoming season. So stick around for more Trojan Sports Now.
Trojan Sports Now.